Well, Mr. Hugo was kind enough to finish off these questions with you guys on Monday. All right. He answered nearly completed the whole geometry lesson. So well done, guys. You smashed the geometry lesson on Monday. Yes, you're going to be starting geometry probably this term, some of you guys next term, but it was really good practice for you to start on your geometry lessons so that you could see what geometry was actually about. Okay, so we're going to finish off these last two questions, and then we're going to move on to some fractions. So if we look at 4.5, the question says, is the pair of triangles congruent? Give a reason for your answer. All right, is the pair of triangles congruent? Give a reason for your answer. Now, some of you would have learned in grade 6. I'm really hoping your teachers would have told you. If they didn't, let's go over today. What does it mean when something is congruent? What does it mean if something is congruent? Who can tell me? Oh, I have a hand up already. Fantastic. Losa? Losani, can you tell me what it means when something's congruent? You are unmuted. Losani? All right, I think maybe Losani's having a problem with their sound. All right, congruent means that the triangles are exactly the same. So congruent means they are exactly the same. So in other words, all the sides of the triangles are the same size, okay, they're the same length, and all the angles are the same size. All right, so if we're looking at these two triangles that they've given us, let's go see whether we can tell if the triangles are exactly the same. So if I'm looking at it, I've got one angle that's equal to this angle. That's what it means when they draw those lines. I've got these angles over here that's equal to these angles. Okay. And then let's go have a look at the lines they've given us, guys, because I think that it's going to be a little bit telling here whether these triangles are exactly the same or not. So let's have a look at this line. Let's start with this line here. If I'm looking at this line here, can we see that this line here, okay, this equal side, is lying in between these two angles? So that line is on the same side as the two equal angles. Have a look at this side over here. Is that line lying in between two equal angles? You can tell me in the chat. Is that line the same equal line as in the other triangle? Is it the same? No, good. Well done, guys. Well done. No, it's not. It's not the same. So are these two triangles congruent? Is the pair of triangles congruent? Give a reason for your answer. No. The equal line is not in the same, and we can call it position. So the equal line is not in the same position. Okay, a fantastic question, 4.6. Give one word for the perimeter of a circle. I think that this one is a great one for Watobe bot, if you're not sure even. I really don't mind if you can ask your Watobe bot here and see what Watobe bot comes back with and see what you've got for us. All right, what's the word of the perimeter? So I'm going to remind you. So if I had to draw a circle, oh dear, let's draw a circle. I'm drawing, oh dear, the pen went flat. I'm drawing a circle. Okay, what does perimeter mean? Perimeter means the space on the outside. I see some of you have told me. Fantastic, well done. It is the circumference. Well done, guys. Well done. Circumference. Well done. And those are our last two geometry questions for this evening before we move on to our next topic that we're going to do tonight. And our next topic we're going to do tonight is fractions. Okay, next topic we're going to do tonight is fractions. I'm going to ask Mr. Hugo if he can start looking at fractions with you guys. So our next topic here is fractions. Mr. Hugo, if you can just start looking at this question with him, I would really appreciate it. And I will be back with you in 2 minutes.
No problem, I've got you.
Are you with us, Mr. Hugo? Can I hear you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm unmuted.
Fantastic.
Can you hear me?
Thanks, Mr. Hugo. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you, Mr. Hugo.
Okay, so let's have a look. 4.2, they are asking us write down this chain so that all the values are equivalent fractions to 2/5. All right, now the first one has been given, obviously, 2/5. Now, before we start on this, I'm going to need to see everybody do this. You have your pens and your papers out. Please, on your pen and paper, write exactly the fractions with the arrows as you see on the board. I'm going to give you all a second to please do that. If you are brave enough, you're more than welcome to try and fill in the answers along. I will explain just now how we can do that. But first of all, I need you all to write what is given on the board at 4.2. And you leave open spaces where we still need to fill in the unknown nominator or denominator. Okay, a minute to go. Make sure you have all of that in there. Okay, guys, you can put down your hands. I'm not going to be taking questions as of this moment. Please make sure that you are putting this on your paper first. I'm not going to be taking any questions right now. I want you to put these on your papers first.
All right, where are we up to, Mr. Hugo?
Okay, Teacher Kirsty, so they all just wrote down exactly what is given on 4.2.
Oh, fantastic.
So now they can
Thank
just
you so
fill
much.
in the answers.
Great. So let's go ahead and fill this in together. Thank you, Mr. Hugo, for assisting me. All right. So if we look at what's going on here, okay, we've got a little chain here. All right. And we need to fill this in together. So Mr. Hugo has already gone through it with you. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it in very quickly. All right. Let's get going. So I've got 2/5. If I look at the chain, it then gives me 4, and that's going to give me 4 over, and our screen has completely frozen, unfortunately, but that gives me 4/10. All right. My next one across, I then have something over 15, which means what did I do? It means I went and I had, so let's see if it'll work for us now.
Okay, guys, so remember the most important thing to see
Thanks,
here,
Mr. Hugo.
while Teacher Kirsty is having a look at her screen, the most important thing to see here is what you do on top, you need to do at the bottom. Otherwise, the value of the fraction changes, okay? So from the first one where we had 2 on top of your fraction, it changed to 4. How do we get from 2 to 4? We times by 2. That means we have to do exactly the same at the bottom. 5 times 2 equals, in the chat, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hugo. Still not working. Okay. 5 times 2 is 10. So I'm going to use my screen. There we go. Well done, guys. Okay, so for the next one, 5 times 3 would give me 15. So that's what I did on the bottom. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So 2 times 3 is going to go and give me, what does it give me, guys? Well done. 6, on fire tonight. Well done. Excuse my handwriting. Hopefully our pen works soon. We're going to try and see as best as we can. All right. Our next one, we've got an 8 on the top. So what did I do to the 2 to get it to be 8? I must have multiplied it by what? What did I multiply it by first? first tell me what I multiplied. Good, well done, Chanjo. I multiplied it by 4. Good. So I would have had to multiply it by 4 first. Fantastic. So whatever I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. So 5 times by 4 is going to give me 20. Well done, guys. All right, let's look at my next one. On the top, I've got 10 on the top. I've got nothing on the bottom. So what did I do to 2 to get to 10? Okay, I times it by 5. So whatever I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. So 5 times by 5 gives me 25. Well done. And my very last one, I've got something over 30. So what did I multiply by on the bottom, guys? 5 times by what gives me 30? 5 times what gives me 30? I'm seeing some strange answers there. 5 times what gives you 30, guys? 5 times what? 5 times 6. Good. 5 times 6 gives me 30. So 2 times by 6 will give us 12. Well done. So Mr. Hugo asked you guys to make a number chain of fractions equivalent to 4.2.1 for 3 over 4. In other words, he wanted you to use the exact same missing numbers to do this now. So I'm going to draw out the 3 over 4 one for you guys very quickly. So you would have 3 over 4. And then you would have, in this missing block, it would have said 4 over something. And then it would have had something over 15. And then we would have had 8 over something. And then we would have had, I'm going to come back and help you guys out now because this is a bit difficult, 10 over something. And then we would have had something over 30. Now, if we're looking at that and we're trying to equivalate our fractions to that, that's kind of tricky, okay? That's kind of tricky. So I'm going to go help you guys out here, and I'm going to give you some easier numbers to use. Are you ready to make this a little bit easier for yourselves? All right. So to make it a little bit easier for yourselves, I'm going to give you the following numbers. I'm going to give you in your next block a 6. Then in your next block, I'm going to go give you a 12. In your next block, I'm going to put a 12 on the top here for you. In your next block, I'm going to put a 15 for you. And in your final block, I am going to go and put a 24. So we've done the first one together. Go and try that one out for me. I'm going to do the last one for you as well, just so you have an idea. So I've got 1 over 3. All right. In your next block, I want to see. All right. So in your next block, I want to see 2 over something. In your next block, I want to see something over 9. In your next block, I want to see 4 over something. In your next block, I want to see 5 over something. And in your final block, I want to see something over 18. See if you guys can get that one for me. Go and have a look. Go and have a look at that first. I'm going to give you a few minutes to have a look at it first. Okay. I see Mr. Hugo giving you a very important remembering here. He says, we cannot add, we need to multiply by something, guys. So we need to work out what are we multiplying by each time. Mar, I see your hand up. I already know you've got the answers. So I promise I'm going to come back to you. You're going to be the first one I check Earth when I'm looking for answers. I promise. Mulalo's also got their hand up. Sure, Mr. Hugo, these grade 7s tonight are quick.
They are on fire. I hope they are remembering to have fun as well. This is fun, guys.
I hope so.
Okay. And like Teacher Kirsty reminded, and I put in the chat, if you haven't seen this, you cannot add. Okay, don't think that whatever I add on top, I just add on the bottom. That's not how fractions work. You need to multiply by something. Whatever you multiply with on top, you have to multiply with on the bottom. If you add, you'll get this wrong.
That's right.
You guys are doing excellent. Just keep the good work up. Well done.
All right, I'm going to give 1 more minute to give some people a chance to go try before we go through it. So 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute. Okay. 1 more minute. You guys are doing so well. Well done. Christina, I see you've got a physical hand up. Christina, there is a way that you can actually raise your hand on the screen. Mr. Hugo, do you think you can just put in the prompts on how you do that on on Zoom?
I will give her a hand on how to raise her hand.
I think it's it's Christian. Sorry, not Christina. Sorry, Christian. Thank you. It's only because you're so tiny on my screen. I'm worried I'm going to miss you if you do have a question. Okay. Okay, I promise I can see you, Christian. All right, Mr. Hugo is going to help you out. Okay, so, oh, Umar's hand's down already. Umar, where did you go to? Did you not have the answers for me? Where is Umar? His hand was up first. There we go. Umar, are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Ma'am, there's a trick to this. And I want to type and then answer the question.
Of course, there's a trick to this, Umar. Tell me your trick.
So, ma'am, for the 4.2, the 3/4. If you look on the first part, you see 3 and 6.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you notice that most of them are the 3 times tables. And if
Umar,
you use
I'm really happy. Umar, I'm so sorry to disturb you. You're going to carry on explaining to Mr. Hugo, and you're going to give your answers to Mr. Hugo. Mr. Hugo, I just need to step out again. I'm so sorry.
No problem. Umar, carry on explaining. I'm listening.
So on the first part, it's basically the 3 times tables, and on the second part, it's the 4 times tables.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. Well done.
And for the second one, 1/3, you'd find the bottom part is.
Let's stick to the first one. Let's help me finish the first one first, and then I'll ask somebody else to help me with the second one. So you said it's the 3 times table and the 4 times table. So 3 multiplied by what gave me 6?
2.
Excellent. 3 multiplied by 2. Now, while you are here with me, I'm going to need everybody to wake up in the chat. Give me what is 4 multiplied by 2 then?
4 multiplied by 2 is 8.
8. Well done. So my second fraction is going to be 6/8. Well done. Umar, go ahead and tell me, how did I get 12 from 4?
12 from 4 is 4 times 3. So 4 times the 3. Inverse for both.
Yes. So now what am I going to have to do to get the denominator that goes along with 12 that will make this fraction equivalent to 3/4? Anybody in the chat? What do I have to do? Multiply by what? 3 multiplied by? Yes. 3 times 3, because to get 12 from 4, I had to multiply 4 with 3. Now I'm going to do the same on top. 3 multiplied by 3 gives me 9. All right, Teacher Kirsty.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hugo. Guys, I have to apologize. I have a few issues going on at my house, so I have to keep hopping out. But Mr. Hugo is being such a great help for us tonight. He is the best TA ever. I'm sure you guys all agree. So if we look at the next one, I've got 12 over something. So 3 times by what gave me 12? Umar, are you still with me? I think I can hear you still talking.
Yes.
Umar, 3 times what gives me 12?
3 times 4.
Fantastic, Umar. So whatever I do to the top, I must always do to the
bottom.
Bottom, hey? So 4 times 4, what does 4 times 4 give you, Umar?
16.
16, well done. All right, Umar, do the next one for me. How do I get the next one?
So it would be 4 times 5.
Fantastic. And how did you get that 5? Umar, tell everybody in the chat. How did you get that 5? How did
You
you work
count the
out?
number, you count the numbers of blocks, and then the first number you add it, so then you get 5 blocks altogether.
Okay, so that's a
And then-
cheeky way. That's a cheeky way to do it.
And
It's
you also
cheated,
use your
but
term
you are
numbers.
good. Okay, good. So you say to yourself, 3 times by what gives me 15? 3 times?
3 times 5.
5, good. Whatever I do to the top, I must always do to the bottom. So
Bottom.
4 times 5 gives me 20.
20.
And finally, 4 times what gives me 24, Mar?
6.
4 times 6, good. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the
Top.
here. So 3 times by 6 will give me
6 is equal to 18.
18. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Umar. I'm going to get somebody else to help me very quickly. Okay, so if I can ask you to put your microphone back on mute because I can't see your face anymore, unfortunately. And I am going to ask, I think I'm going to ask Christian, because Christian, you keep raising your hand, but you don't have the picture up. So Christian, are you going to help me with the next one? You should be able to unmute on your screen, Christian. Hi, Christian. I should be able to hear you now if you speak, Christian. Oh, Christian, I can't hear you. I think maybe there might be something wrong with your sound. Okay, so Christian, we'll come back to you later if you sort out your sound. Right. Mulalo, I have not skipped you, I promise. Mulalo, help me out. Let's do the next one together.
Okay, it's for the first one, they said 1 times 2, which is 2.
Good.
And then for the bottom, they do times 3, so 3 times 2 is 6.
Fantastic, well done.
And
Let's do the
then
next one.
for the top is 1 times 3, which
Good.
is
Why
3.
did I get 3? Because I said 3 times
It's
what
times
gives me
1.
9. Hey, that's okay. Don't stress. All right, let's do the next one. 1 times what gives me 4?
1 times 4 gives you 4. That's the answer though. Okay.
Exactly.
1 times
Good.
4. 1 times 4. Yes.
Gives you 4. So what's
So
my answer going to be on the bottom?
12.
What's 3 times 4?
12.
Fantastic. Why are you so nervous about your multiplications? You've got this. Right. Let's do the next one.
The next one is 15.
Good, because I said good. 3 times 5 gives me 15. And what's the last one, Mulalo?
6. Is it 6?
Why do you sound so nervous? You are right. It is 6. Okay, it is 6. Well done. Your times tables are good. Well done. Okay, guys. So we have managed to finish off those 2 chains. Let's see what our next question is. So in our next table, now we are going from a big fraction and we're trying to make it into a small fraction. So if we look at the first chain that we've got here, they've given us 12 over 18. So let's look at the first part of it first. Let's make it a bit bigger for ourselves. Okay, so 12 over 18 is equal to something over 9. So I've still got a whole lot of hands up here, so I'm hoping that somebody can help me out. Tamian, can you hear me? Hi, you are unmuted. Tamian? Or Tamia, I might be saying it incorrectly. You are unmuted, can you hear me? All right, maybe we're having a problem with our sound. I'm going to move to Unati. Unati, can you hear me? Unati, are you with me tonight?
Yes, ma'am, but I don't understand.
That's okay, Unati, let's do it together. So Unati, they're telling me that my fraction at the moment is 12 over 18. Hey, do you agree? Are you happy with that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and they're saying to me, how do I get 12 over 18 to be something over 9. So what did I do to 18 to get it to 9, Unati? 18 divided by what gives me 9? How can I make 18 smaller by dividing it by something? Because remember, just like Mr. Hugo says, we can't minus something, but we can divide by something. So let's start with the smallest one. Nati, what's 18 divided by 1?
6. Isn't it 6, ma'am?
18 divided by 1. What's 18 divided by 1?
Sorry, ma'am. It's
That's okay. It's 18,
13.
eh? Good. What's 18 divided by 2?
18 divided by 2. 1.
What's 18 divided by 2 or not? You got this. Come on, you got your multiplications. Do you want to call a friend?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to call
Okay.
friend.
I'm going to ask Sasetu because Sasetu's been showing me on the screen. Thank you, Nati, for your help, though. All right, Sasetu. Can you tell me, Sasetu, what's 18 divided? How do I get 18 to be 2? What did I do to 18?
Divided by 9. Divided by 2.
I divided by 2. Fantastic, Sasetu. So if I'm saying 18 divided by 2, and I'm doing that on the bottom, okay, so 18 divided by 2 gave me 9. What am I going to do on the top? I'm going to do exactly the same, hey? So on the bottom, I said 18 divided by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. Right, so Sasetu, your fractions seem really good. So what's 12 divided by 2?
6.
6, well done. Nice. Well done. Okay, stay with me. You're going to help me. Stay with me. You're going to help me. Because now I'm saying 6 divided by what gives me 2? So say 2. 6 divided by what gives me 2?
3.
3, well done. So say 2, what's the rule? What do I keep on saying, Mr. Hugo and I? What's the rule?
Divided by what you do to the top, you do to the bottom.
Well done. Whatever you do to the top, you must do to the bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. Hey, so it's the same rule when we're doing fractions. So if I divided the top by 3, I'm going to go divide the bottom by 3. And what's 9 divided by 3?
3.
Well done. It's 3. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sasetu. Okay, so that's the smallest I can make that fraction, and they did it for me that way. Let's go have a look at a different way we could do that fraction. So another way that we could do that fraction is we could say to ourselves, all right, 12 over 18, okay, they did something to 12 to get it to 4. Grace, are you going to help me out here? Hi, Grace. Okay, Grace, what did I do to 12 to get it to be 4? Grace?
Miss, you divided it by 3.
Well done, Grace. Whatever I do to the top, I must do to the
Do
bottom,
to the
Grace.
bottom.
Good. What's 18 divided by 3, Grace?
Ma'am, can I quickly calculate it?
Of course you can. Go ahead. Calculate it.
6.
Well done. It's 6. Then I've got 6, and they're taking it down to 3, Grace. So what did they do to go from 6 to 3? What do I need to divide by?
By 2, miss.
Well done. What's the rule, Grace? What's our rule now?
The same thing, miss. It's just that the 2 is at the bottom first.
Good. So whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top now. So what's 4 divided by 2? It is
2.
2. Well done. Grace, do I get the same answer when I do it like that?
Yes, miss, you do.
I do. Okay, so it's just showing you guys that there's 2 different ways that you could do it. You could do it many different ways. You would get the same answer. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity now to do it. It says, make a chain of fractions, reducing the given fraction to its lowest terms. So guys, you've got 35 over 70. You only have to make one change, just so that you know. And you've got 27 over 72. If you know how to reduce that the first time and you don't have to do a long chain, then you are welcome to do it without doing a long chain. But if you're not sure and you need to do an even longer chain than what they did there, then that's fine as well. Okay, it doesn't matter how long your chain is, as long as you saw you all get to the same answer. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to go and try that. Like Mr. Hugo always says, write it down on your own piece of paper, guys. Go and try it first on your own piece of paper. Don't just rely on the person who's going to answer the question to do the answer for you. Right, so go and try those for me. Go and reduce those fractions. If you've got a really long chain, that's okay, as long as you get it to be as small as possible. So go try your best. Go and try your best.
Okay, grade 7, boys and girls, you are doing excellent. Keep the good work going. I want to remind you, no questions at this time. You all need to try this first, okay? So make sure it's written down on your pen and paper. I mean, on your paper with your pen. And try it yourself first. No questions right now. Let's keep going. Try it yourself.
Right. Okay, I'm giving you guys 1 more minute to give it a try, and then I'm going to do it for you. We'll do it with you, sorry. So 1 more minute. Go give it a try, 1 more minute. Oh, Mr. Hugo is so kind to you guys. He's telling you you need to divide. Thank you, Mr. Hugo.
My pleasure.
I wasn't even giving them the hint, Mr. Hugo. I was making them do it all by themselves. Mr. Hugo is very kind to you guys. Thanks, Mr. Hugo. Yes, you need to divide to make it smaller. Okay. All right. So I have some new hands up here. So let's give these new voices a try for tonight. Let's start with Amishle. Amishle, what did you do? Tell us.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi. Tell me,
So,
Amishle,
ma'am,
what did you do?
so what I did, ma'am, I said 70 divided by 7, which is 10.
Good. Oopsie. 10. Cool.
And then 35 divided by 7 is 5.
Well done. Good. Can it go smaller?
Yes.
Nice. Good. So
And
what did you do next?
Then I said 10 divided by 5 is 2.
Well done.
And
Good.
then 5 divided by 5 is 1.
You're a rock star. Well done. Thanks, Amishle.
Welcome, ma'am.
All right. Mitchell. Mitchell, you are hard at work. I see that you are busy writing. Are you ready to do 27 over 72 with me? Not yet. Okay. No, must I come back? Okay. All right. Shlingiwe? Shlingiwe, are you ready to do 27 over 72 with me?
I'm not sure because I think my answer is wrong.
That's okay, Shlingiwe. There's no such thing. We're going to try together. Okay, so let's try together. Talk to me about what you did.
I actually didn't divide.
Oh, what did you do?
I said 27 plus 27, which was 54. Then I said I added again to see if it does, which gave me a 81, and then I minused it by 73, which gave me having troubles.
Shlingiwe, that sounds like it is super complicated. Are you ready to do it together with me? Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, are you ready? So remember what Mr. Hugo said in the chat. He said, remember, you need to divide, hey? Okay, so the moment, Shlingiwe, you find yourself adding and trying to add, then you know, hold up a second. Oh, I'm making a mistake. I need to divide, okay? All right, So the first thing I would do is I would say to myself, well, I know that 1 can go into 72 and 1 can go into 27, but that's not going to help me, am I right? Because anything divided by 1 is itself. That doesn't help me. Yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
What about dividing by 2? I can divide 72 by 2 because that's got a 2 on it, but can I divide 27 by 2?
No.
Not really, hey? Okay, so let's go bigger. What about 3? Can I divide 3? Can I divide 72 by 3 and 27 by 3? Well, I know
Yes.
that 27, yeah, thank you. 27 divided by 3 gives me 9. What's 72 divided by 3?
73 divided by
72, careful, 72 divided by 3.
72 divided by 3. 24.
24, okay. All right, so now we're looking, what can go into 24 and can also go into 9? All right, what can go into 24 and can also go into 9? So we start again with 1. Well, we know 1 can go into both. That one's easy, okay? Can 2 go into that? 2 could go into
No.
24, but can 2 go into 9? No. What about 3?
No.
What about 3?
Yes. Yes,
Well
it can.
done. Well done. So we divide the top by 3. Whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom, hey? So on the top, I get 3 over. What's 24 divided by 3?
8.
8. Well done. Nice. So my final answers. For the 7.3.1, it was 1 over 2. And for 7.3.2, it was 3 over 8. Well done. Thank you so much for the help. Does it make sense
Welcome.
where you went wrong?
Sorry?
Does it make sense where you went wrong?
Yes, yes, it
Okay.
explains a lot.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Well done. All right, guys. So tonight's quiz is actually on geometry that Mr. Hugo did with you guys on Monday. I would suggest that if you weren't on Monday's class, then you go back and you watch the video, which is on YouTube and on Watobe's site. So if you weren't on Monday's class, go back, watch the YouTube video, watch the Watobe video. But everything that was done inside the class, you would have found familiar before, shouldn't have found too difficult on Monday night's class. And Mr. Hugo told me that you guys were all rock stars on Monday as well.